Hey guys, TKC here, the Kaijudo Channel with another segment of Kaijudo News. This week is really awesome. We got some more news about Evo Fury. It's about time. Really awesome stuff. I couldn't make a video for Wednesday because I was at a tournament and I got home and then I see this and I'm like, what the heck happened? I thought it was going to be Thursday, but it ended up being Wednesday. So here we are today on Thursday covering Wednesday's news. Just like the article says, Evo Fury changes everything. Because now we have evolution creatures. Completely confirmed, even though we were pretty sure it was going to happen. Now it's like solid, nailed to the ground. We know that we have evolution creatures. They work pretty much exactly the same way as it did in Duel Masters, where you pretty much take your evolution creature and then put it on top of the certain criteria that the card says that you could put it on top of. So for the meantime, we're probably going to be restricted to just evolution creatures that evolve on top of cards with the same race as it, or whatever it says, like evolve it on top of one of your Dune Geckos, for example. Because now, instead of Little Hissy, we actually have a card called Big Hissy. That's right, we have an evolution for Little Hissy, and now it's a Big Hissy. Don't be fooled by the vanilla text, though, because this is kind of just hiding what its effect it actually is. It's not just a level 5 6000 vanilla that you put on top of one of your Dune Geckos, and I'll show you why in a second, because now we also know what the Tornado Generator deck is using as its civilizations. So, first of all, it is light. Yes, yellow shirt, light civilization, and it features Ravu the Stormbringer as the main card of the deck, which will probably only be in the deck as well, just like all the other deck exclusives like Dark Scaradorable and Wrist Rocket Tatsuri and all that. So Ravu's pretty cool. He evolves on top of any of your Skyforce champions. It's a level 6, and basically it has most of the effects of the original Ravu, kind of. It has Double Breaker. It has the ability where instead of just untapping itself, you could also untap all of your other creatures, so it's like Current Charger, except it's really big. And it also has this other effect that we do not know of yet, but it's Call of the Storm, I believe, and we don't know what it is except you may do something, so it's an optional effect. That's literally all we know about it. Besides that, if you look behind Ravu in the deck picture right here, you could also see a new Glurgle card. Yes! More Glurgles, I love it. So now we have Forklift Tank Glurgle. This is not an evolution creature, however, because you can tell underneath the level of the evolution cards that there's this kind of like exploding civilization symbol under the level, and that is an easy way to tell that it's an evolution creature. Kind of like the Shield Blast cards that they have the logo right under the level, well, under the civilization rather. This one is like the civilization, but like exploding or like raw evolution, you know. But it's also a level 6, and we don't know what it does, but a new Glurgle. And this is actually the highest level Glurgle that we have so far, because the one before it was Reef Prince Glurgle at 5, and we also had Potato Gun at 4, Hovercraft at 3, so now we have one at 6, so this is the biggest one, and it might be just as good as Dark Scaradorable, which is also level 6 of the Scaradorable lineup. I'm expecting pretty great things from Glurgle just because of that. And lastly, we have a level 5 Twilight Commander in the back, which is probably going to be a common, because that's what they usually do. They put a common in the back. But it's also a Skyforce champion. It's only level 5, which is pretty nice, because Skyforce champions are typically, the really expensive, costed cards of light civilization, kind of like Armored Dragons in Fire. Well, now we have a cheaper Skyforce champion in level 5. And since this is a common, I'm not expecting too many great things from it. So Twilight Commander is actually using a picture from an old Duel Masters card called Risa, Spirit of Infinity. It's a Japanese card, however, so that's what its Japanese name is anyways. But that card was a level 5, 4500. It can't attack shields, it can attack creatures. It's a blocker, and when it wins a battle, untap it. This one is probably not going to be like it. Maybe it is. It is a simple enough effect. I mean, it's similar-ish to like Razor Pine Tree and Orbital Observer that we already have. Except this one has 5,000 power, as you can tell on the bottom. It could be 5,500 too. I honestly have no idea. But expect something like that, or I don't know. It's just a cheap Skyforce champion. That's the main reason you want to play it, so that you could easily evolve your Ravu the Stormbringer on top of that. Now, in addition to these two Evos already confirmed, we do know that a Tatsurion Evo is also going to be coming out as well. In the first Evo Fury picture that we saw right here, we could clearly see a Tatsurion right there, but we don't know if that's the actual evolution for Tatsurion, but it did say in the article that you'll be able to evolve Tatsurion. So Armor Dragon evolution is absolutely confirmed, but it's most probably going to be Tatsurion, of course. Also, I'm expecting the amount of evolutions to be similar to how they did it back in Duel Masters in their second set, which was Evo Crushioners of Doom, which is pretty much, very similar to this, except they're choosing different races and stuff. I think in the original, they had 2 evolutions for the same race, like Crystal Lancer and Paladin, and Chaos Worm and Ultraside Worm. So they stuck to one race, but I think here it's going to be different because we have Big Hissy as Dune Gecko, and then we have Tatsurion as Armored Dragon Beastkin, maybe? I honestly have no idea. That'd be pretty retarded if you could evolve over a Beastkin or an Armored Dragon. Or maybe it's like you have to evolve over a card that has Tatsurion in its name. It could be anything. So yeah, back in that set, it was 10 evolutions in a 60-card set, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same thing here. So we have 2 for each civilization, and probably 2 different races as well. So we're going to have, Dune Gecko and Tatsurion or Armored Dragon or whatever. And we're going to have Skyforce champions and probably, if I had to guess, either Enforcer or Storm Patrol. And then just goes on with all the other races as well, like Cyberlord Aquin. I guess I'm just going to do all my predictions right now. Beastkin and I want to say Tusker, but I don't know. Maybe Megabugs. Yeah, I'll go with Megabug. Yes. Okay, yeah. Megabug and Beastkin. And then what am I missing? I'm missing Darkness. Darkness is going to be Chimera and Rotworm. I'm going to go with that. That's my prediction for what all the evolution races are going to be, I guess. But then we also have Ravu, which I think is going to be exclusive to the deck, because that's what it's been pretty much all the time now. The super rare of the deck is usually exclusive to the deck itself. So chances are we're going to have 11 evolutions total, and so maybe instead of, just Skyforce Champion and Enforcer or whatever, it'll be like Enforcer, Storm Patrol inside Evo Fury, and then the deck will have the Skyforce Champion evolution. Sounds about right to me. Also, wait, no, there is also Shadow Champion. I forgot about Shadow Champion. So it's going to be tough to choose between Chimera, Rotworm, and Shadow Champion. There is a lot of Shadow Champions actually already out, so yeah, it's a pretty tough choice. I don't know. Who knows? We'll just go ahead and see what happens. Okay, anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about the other stuff that they post on the site. One thing that was really interesting and caught my eye was the article about Kaiju Pyramid. It's pretty much kind of like a basic way for new players to understand what makes up a good deck. So basically, the pyramid looks like this. You have 3 floors. The first floor is your level 1 to 3 cards, I believe. Then the middle floor is level 4 to 5. And the top level is 6 and up. So basically, if you want a basic deck, they recommend you have only 4, 6 and up. And then, I don't know, 18 and 18 or something. I really don't remember everything by heart. And then they say if you want a really all-out rush deck, then you put everything in the 1 to 3, of course. Well, I think it could go up to 4, but anyways. And then you have an aggro deck, which is, kind of a bit in between. And you have no 6 and up. And then you have 4 to 5, quite a bit of them. And then you have lots of 1s and 3s. So I mean, it's a basic guideline, which is pretty cool and all. But I honestly think the levels have to be adjusted quite a bit for different decks, I guess. Control decks, you need 3 Terror Pits. That's absolutely mandatory. There's a lot of stuff above 6 that you really need in a control deck, and it's more maybe 8 to 10 cards in that top spot, not just. Well, if you count the 6s too, it's more like 12 to something. It really depends on the deck, I guess. But even aggro, aggro uses Bolgash Dragon for sure. It uses Bolt Tail, which is level 8. Basically the pyramid is not exactly how you should make your decks, but it's, I guess, a basic idea on how, you can make a deck. If you never knew how to play the game, you could just, kind of follow it and see how it works and stuff. Also, not to mention, not everyone has access to a lot of cards. Maybe they just pick up a deck, or they pick up a deck or 2 and a couple boosters, and they don't really have access to all these high power cards. They just have the ones that came in the deck. And then maybe by chance they got a really awesome card in their booster packs. So if you follow that kind of idea, it makes sense that they suggest only 4. But as far as strong decks go, chances are you probably want a lot more than 4, but yeah, that's pretty much what they're trying to go with the Kaiju Pyramid. So yeah, it's good stuff though. I like the article. And lastly, they have more Kaijudo minigames, but this time you could actually use the cards, which is pretty cool. So they have this kind of minigame thing called Kaijudo Olympics, and whoever wins gets the Shield of Unity. Woo! But basically, this is more stuff you could do at a party, or maybe if you're just bored, you've played the main game enough, and you're like, okay, let's just do this for funsies, and then you pretty much just get your decks, and then you do this kind of like, you know, like the card game War, where you each like flip the top card of your deck, and then whoever has the highest one wins and takes the other person's card. It's kind of like that, except remove the take other person's card, because that's not good. You don't want to steal their Kaijudo cards. But it's like a war, pretty much. Like, you flip the top card of your deck until you get a creature, and then you kind of just match the power, and it's like, oh, okay, this one's the strongest one, you win. You go to the semifinals. Like, they have like this kind of tournament structure thing. And in the semifinals, it's a bit different. You do something different. I don't remember the rules. And then the last one, the finals, you have to like lay down the top 9 cards of your deck. You flip like 2 cards. I don't know. It's very complicated and stuff. Well, maybe not too complicated. It's kind of simple, but there's a lot of different mini games to the Olympics. Then, you know, whoever wins gets the shield. Woo! So if you ever hold Kaijudo parties, this is another thing you could add on to the other Kaijudo party recommendations, which is, I don't know, it's pretty cool. You could add like a tournament in there for fun, or like a regular tournament if you actually playing the actual card game, and then maybe for funsies you go, okay, if you want to win the Shield of Unity, however, you have to go through the Kaijudo Olympics, and then you kind of like go crazy and do that. And yeah, I wonder if anyone's gonna like actually do YouTube videos on the Kaijudo Olympics things. Get on that, Earth Power. There's another tournament suggestion for you there. You don't have to do draft. You don't have to do like you don't have to do that. You can just like do Kaijudo Olympics. But then you guys are just gonna like make the decks that have the most power creatures and stuff like that. Okay, I used 3 Earth Stomp Giants. Enough of that, guys. Anyways, that's pretty much all the news. Evo Fury, Evo Fury, Evo Fury, and then like throw in little things at the end. So this is going to be a really long video. I apologize, but Evo Fury is just so awesome, and I have to talk about every single last thing I noticed about it. Alright guys, this is TKC, the Kaijudo channel, signing off with this awesome Kaijudo news. Evo Fury all the way. Remember guys, November 13th, it's on a Tuesday. Remember that. Pre-order your stuff now. I'm definitely getting 3 copies of this deck. I'm not even going to think about it, because I actually now own these 3 awesome Starlight Strategists, and I would love to make a Skyforce Champion deck, except that now I need the Ravu, the original Ravu, and that's going to take a while to get. I don't even have a single one, and I already traded my Alcadeus, but I don't know if I really need it for this deck. I don't know. I'm just talking about random stuff now. Okay guys, TKC here, signing off. See you later guys.